Wake me up, show me a new dawn. Open your eyes, rise, children of light. I am awakened, I am awakened. All these lies and delusions wake me up, show me a new dawn. Open your eyes, rise, children of light. I am awakened, I am awakened. All these lies and delusions wake me up, show me a new dawn. Open your eyes, rise, children of light. I am awakened, I am awakened. Clear my mind and my soul. Gave me a new mind. Oh, made me whole. I'll rise up. I'll be the new light. I am awakened. I am awakened. All these lies and delusions wake me up, show me a new dawn. Open your eyes, rise, children of light. I am awakened, I am awakened. Israelite's journey.
Shalom and blessings, family. Peace and blessings to everybody that's in the room. We got 8 people in here right now. Hopefully the audience grows. Let's give it a few minutes. Let's see if we can get up to at least 20 before we start. Yeah, it's been a shalom and blessings, unorthodox daughter. Shalom and blessings. One Queen Island. Shalom and blessings, Donovan Ben Judah. Glad to have you guys here. All right. So 19 is good enough. All right. So we're gonna be doing a Q&A session in the build with the brother, the recruiter. Miller has a lot of great work on the 400-year prophecy and in Daniels, as well as some really good videos concerning us going back into the land. But for the most part, we want to start talking about those topics right there, and I'm gonna let the brother Eric head it off. So brother Eric, are you there?
Yeah, peace. I'm here.
Let's get the brother recruiter to introduce himself and just tell the people a little bit about yourself and the work you've been doing concerning what the Most High is giving you.
All right, peace and blessings, everybody. Peace and blessings to all the brothers in the panel. Peace and blessings to Sister Tia as well in the panel. Peace and blessings to everybody in the chat. I want to thank everybody for joining in. Today we're going to be having a discussion with our brother in the truth, Brother Dawid, the recruiter. As Brother Banyad mentioned, he has a YouTube channel for everybody to go and check out when you get a chance. And he does ministry. He teaches the 400-year prophecy. Has a lot of edifying and insightful perspectives to share with us today. And so on this note, I'm gonna turn it over to my brother, let him introduce himself and kind of give some background into what he does. You got it, bro.
Shalom, brother. Thank you for having me. Agbenya, Eric, Tia, forget a few other the names, but shalom, love you guys, man. Really appreciate you guys having me on the platform.
Shalom to you too, brother.
All praises. Thank you, sis. Well, yeah, man. I've been sharing about the 400-year prophecy beginning in 2017. After it was roughly around the time just after the first eclipse that happened, the Great American Eclipse. And during that time, it was the HR 1242, 400 Years of African American History Commission Acts that was presented by Congress that, showed us, gave us something concrete, or gave the world something concrete that they can look at the 400 years as we've been that fulfillment. As we have that there from Congress, from the government. And there was a few when I first came into the 400-year knowledge of the 400-year and Israel. I think some of the first people I was looking at was like Stephen Darby, Big Judah, few other people, and I just took off with it, man. I just took off with it. It's something that was with me my whole life, but I wasn't doing. I believe that I was called for the work a very long time ago, and just got confused and lost in the religion and Christianity and so forth. So when I finally came out, I hit the ground running, man. I hit the ground running. I was all on Facebook, all on the streets, man. I was, sharing with my family on my public page. On my YouTube page, it was mostly music and things like that, and a few teachings, from a Christian thought. And when I finally woke up, I was, sharing on my regular page, my Facebook page, and a little bit on Instagram. And I wasn't getting a reception. It's like a lot of people, because I was doing Christian hip hop previously, and I was like kind of like an evangelist out there, street person. I used to be a youth minister, and people started looking at me talking about I was in the coke. I had went live, and one of the artists that I know, one of the friends who was another Christian artist, is like, man, you in the coke, he in the coke. And I started losing people, and people started falling off, which was fine by me. And I was chopping people off too, like from my Facebook page, because I didn't want that in my spirit. So I had the recruiter page, or like a music page, and I just started blasting on there. I was like, if they don't want to hear it, and people close to me don't want to hear it, I'm just gonna go here and start blasting on the recruiter page, sponsoring stuff, sharing videos, trying to wake people up, man, to the truth of who we are. I was kind of nervous at first, because when I saw some people, I was nervous when I kind of like, man, I would think that they gonna probably kill me, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't realize that there were other people that was Israelites that was seriously woke, when it finally hit me. Even though there have been a few people sprinkled here and there that talked to me, but I didn't see them on like going out like revolutionaries. That's how important I took it. That's how I took it. And I was kind of nervous, like, man, I can't go out there, you know what I'm saying? Because I've always been like a street guy, a guy that's in your face, a guy that's a bold type of dude. And I'm like, man, these people gonna kill me. Until I saw some other people, like I said, Stephen Darby sharing it and stuff like that, and a few other people were like, man, okay, All right, so I ain't the only one. And so yeah, man, from there, man, I was sharing on my page, and that Facebook page, the recruiter, I was on that for like 3-4 years. They just finally terminated my accounts on my 2 Facebook accounts. Just trying to say hate speech and all that stuff. I violated their terms and services, but it was a lot. It was like 100,000 people on that page, man, that was being reached. Videos with millions of views, man.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm thankful. I'm thankful for the time that I was able to use that. But during that, Facebook primarily, a lot of people heard the truth, bro. A lot of people heard your Facebook page. Not so much from my YouTube page because I hate doing videos. I hate doing videos with a passion, and I just like posting, and sharing stuff. But I've been having to sit down and make videos here and there, so I don't have a lot of content. But I have to really focus in and sit down and do the videos. I really don't like doing them. But hope that answered your question. I gave you a little bit of backdrop.
Most definitely. You talked about some of your music, and I heard a couple of your songs on your page. We're gonna talk a little more about that later. But you mentioned Pastor Darby and some other people, and I noticed that a lot of people who are in this truth, we come across some of the same people. Most of us are privy to Pastor Darby, and I think it's because he was sort of a revolutionary in a way. Although he was a Christian pastor, you could see the truth somewhat in it. But talk about what was it exactly that drew your attention to make you see that this prophecy was referring to us in this day?
Oh, well, it's a series of events. I'll try to make it short, but I always question. I had conversations with people that were in the truth. Recognized themselves as Israel, but I always had questions about. Okay, how did I was always trying to fill in the gap from Israel. If we were dispersed there, how did we end up landing in West Africa? Where's the migration patterns and things like that? And I could have probably took the time and do my own research, but I was in that indoctrination, but somehow I stumbled across like Negro land. I stumbled across like in 2017, I stumbled across Negro land on the internet, the map, and then the slave coast, Kingdom of Judah. And I was like, hold up, wow. All right. I just started backtracking and was like, man, we were them people on the west coast of Africa. And from there I just started beginning to study, but I had to go back in my memory banks, to even other incidents that occurred and experiences I had, like, in '98, I was in the men's group, and this is when I first started like seeking the Most High and things like that. Unfortunately, it was in Christianity, but I believe that the Most High was sending me, leading me to his word. But one particular time, I was in the men's group, and I was watching a documentary. It was down in Alabama. The riots and things like that. It was a lot of persecuting, police dogs being let loose. It was civil rights movement, and I had just received. You're saying, I believe I was filled with the Spirit and everything previously, but while I was watching it, I heard the voice just speak to me. It was like, y'all are the same people. Said you guys are the same people that was in Egypt. And I heard that in 98. That's what it spoke to me. And it just hurt me so bad. It was like, you know, I wasn't even reading. I was just started reading the Bible again after 3 years, for the first time. And when I heard that, you know what I'm saying, it just, I didn't know all the knowledge and the understanding the history of it all, but it just seemed like it hurted me because that wasn't something that was known by me or I wasn't hearing. And I don't know if I was ready for it. Obviously, I wasn't ready for it because I rejected it and pushed it away, and I didn't receive it. You know, just a little sprinkles throughout the years, all the way into from '98 to 2017. Man, when you know what I'm saying, when I finally just, you know, got shook to the core, man, and been running since. And the truth.
You know, you said that you felt that you were filled with the Spirit, you know, and I can somewhat attest to that, because what I'm also seeing for myself, and maybe some of our other brothers and Sister Tia can attest to this, but the people who are seeing this prophecy in these times are seeing it by revelation of the Holy Spirit. Do any of you brothers or Sister Tia, do y'all have anything on that?
Yeah, absolutely. It was definitely by the Holy Spirit. And one thing I wanted to also add is everybody in this panel that seen it saw it around the same time. It's either around 2016 or 2017 where the information really started coming out. You know, and to be honest, me and the brother Cleo, we have been previews to the information sometime around late or mid 2014 to 2015. You know, we was getting bits of it, but then there was really a huge confirmation around 2016, and that's when we just decided to really bring it out. But yeah, we definitely seen it through the Holy Spirit, because the information was just hitting like that, to the point that we had to acknowledge that the Most High was bringing this to us.
You know, I can relate a little bit, just to you know, bounce off of what you were saying. I recall in 2014, you know, like it's been the trails, like every year during that time there I can go back to my memory bank and recognize that, you know, the Spirit was trying to plant them seeds, you know. And I you know, I didn't really started, you know, pushing it and you know, trying to teach the people until like 2017. But in 2014 on my SoundCloud, and prior to that, I was sharing information. Like there's a track on my SoundCloud probably to this day from 2014, and it's called Israel Awakened. And it's not even a song. I just put a beat on it, and I know you guys have familiar. It's been a YouTube video, been floating around for many years with a Israeli guy that's in Israel. He was telling blacks of America, "You are the people. It's about you." I don't know if you've seen it, but it's a very inspirational. He's like almost in tears. And I put his testimony behind the track, and that was 2014. But it was like it didn't sink in. It didn't, like, you know, I didn't have that effect where I was broken, crying, happy, snot coming out the nose. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I was broke. 2017 is when I just really just crumbled, man. Crumbled, because it all made sense, and it was huge that we them people, man, and we in last days, and the time is coming. We're right at the doorstep. Right at the doorstep.
Absolutely. And just to piggyback off what you said, brother, the guy you're talking about, his name is Peter, and he says, "Blacks of America, it's you. You are the
Right.
true Hebrews of the Bible. America is going to do everything they can to hide this from you. I remember it. I can quote it like I remember exactly what he said, you know. And for me, as I said to you guys before, um, brother Ezekiel, yeah, your video was on. As I said to you guys earlier, is that my mom, she showed me who we were when I was a little girl, but she was mainly talking to my older sisters, but I would overhear what she was saying, and I forgot because she passed on when I was so young. I went back into the world and kept doing whatever I wanted to do. But I remember back in 2014, all of the murders of the Israelites start bothering me. And at the time, I was just seeing them as black people, but they just kept getting killed, you know, by the police all the time. And, you know, me and my husband will have debates about it. And I was like, it's something wrong with this. Why are they just killing them like that? So I remember I had a dream, and I had a dream. And in the dream, I was told to fast for 7 days, not 7 days and 7 nights, just for 7 days. And on the seventh day, something will be revealed to me. So I told my husband, I woke up, I said, hey, babe, you know, something told me I should fast for 7 days. You think I should do it? And it said that on the seventh day, something be revealed to me. And my husband was like, you know, he was brushing his hair, and I think he was cutting his beard too. And he was like, you know, yeah, go ahead. Cause you know, we was still in the world. So it wasn't like, oh, that might be an angel. I didn't know what it was. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna try it. So I fasted for 6 days, and I forgot to fast on the seventh day. I ate food on the seventh day before I could complete what was told for me to complete. And that's when Philando Castile got murdered, right? So Philando Castile, I don't know if you guys remember, he was the guy that was in the car with Diamond Reynolds, who was his fiance, and the police officer, a Hispanic police officer, killed him. And
St. Paul,
while his
St. Paul, Minnesota, right?
say
That
what
St.
now?
Paul. That was in St. Paul.
I can't remember where it was at.
Yeah, I
It
live out
might
here
have
in
been.
Minnesota. I live in Minnesota.
Oh,
That's
okay.
St. Paul. With George
Oh,
Floyd
okay.
happened in Minneapolis.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sorry
Okay.
for cutting you out. Sorry for cutting you out.
Oh
Sorry.
no, you're fine. It's all right. So yeah, so he was the guy who, you know, they had the little baby in the back seat, and the girl name was Diamond Reynolds. So I remember me and my husband was conversing back and forth, like, okay, well, what did he do wrong? So my husband was like, yo, are we cursed as a people? And I said, oh yeah, I got the answer. I remember they told us that we was the cursed seed of Ham. So my husband was
Mm.
like, well, can you find that in the Bible? And back at that time in 2016, I used to couldn't find book, chapter, or verse. But I was, I told my husband, I said, I'm going to find out for you, but before you come home from work. Now, mind you, this was the seventh day, and I've already eaten. I done messed up the fast, but it still was revealed to me that day that we were Israel. And I'll never forget, if you Google, what does the Bible say about Negroes? If you do it right now, Google what does the Bible say about Negroes and go to Open Bible Info. It's going to say uh, Judah, the Negroes. And I never forgot that. I said, yo, who is Judah? Uh, and so I started researching who Judah was because I never heard that. And then that's when I ran into the guy Peter on YouTube, who said, you know, blacks of America, it's you. You are the true Hebrews of the Bible. And right there, I never forget, I fell to my knees and curled up like a baby and was
Mm.
screaming, crying. Like my
Wow.
neighbors saw something happen to me. And I never forget it because I thought about how I was in the adult industry and all the bad things I did in front of the eyes of the Most High God. I'm like, yo, I was at the club on the Shabbat and everything. He could have killed me. I had no idea, but he had mercy on me. So that's where it started for me, and my husband opening up in the truth. And just to, I'm gonna be quiet in 1 second, just to elaborate, because I remember brother the recruiter was saying like how he would bring this message to his family, and they wasn't really hearing it. When you read Mark chapter 6 verse 4, it says this: but Yeshua said unto them, a prophet is not without honor, but in his own country and among his own kin and in his own house. So you're not going to get no honor from your family members, but they'll listen to other people outside of you. So this is why, um, when you bring this type of message to your family, as a family member, they'll reject you. But if somebody else say it, then they're gonna be like, yeah, because this thing is a very powerful thing indeed to bring to somebody. And just to close off on what ended up happening to me because I didn't complete the fast, the Most High allowed me to follow crazy camps for about 8 months before I realized that was the wrong way to go. I was outside saying how Europeans, all of them going to hell, they're going to die and everything. And I remember the Most High had to slow me down. And I was reading, and Most High forgive me for that. I remember I was reading Leviticus 19, verses 33 to 34, because I started to develop a hatred in my heart towards Gentiles. And it says, and if a stranger sojourn with thee in your land, ye shall not vex him, but the stranger that dwelleth with you shall be unto you as one born among you, and thou shalt love him as thyself, for you were strangers in Egypt. So, and it says, I am the Lord your God. So I had to redirect my thinking. So to all the Gentiles who are trying to cleave on to us, I don't treat bad. But if a Gentile come crazy at me, best believe I'm gonna tell you where they came from.
Yeah. You have something to say, Brother Cleo?
Yeah, I do. I wanted to, well, first I wanted to land back on that last point the sister made. And as far as giving heathens or Gentiles any leeway, you remember when we were on the street, when we were street teach, I gave them no leeway at all. I didn't even want to hear anything that they had to say. Now I want to ask I want to go back to the recruiter and ask the brother a question. Shalom, brother. I want to talk about that. You hit upon a key critical point when you said revolutionary. And I want you to elaborate on that a little bit more, because that's actually the spirit of our people. That's actually the spirit of Judah and also the other 12 brothers. So can you elaborate on that a little bit for me, please?
I think what I was saying is that when I first always been a revolutionary in my own eyes, even in the world, I believe that anything I wanted, anything I was doing, I was going with my whole heart. When I came into the truth, I guess I wasn't exposed to it. I didn't see anybody out there really, going in, who was in the, public view, like say like of Malcolm X back in the day, or during the '60s. So it wasn't no real person that was vocal. Not even today. I don't know if that exists. Even today, I can't say that there's a revolutionary Israelite right now, a Negro, Hebrew, Judah, that's out there. But it's many of us, because we're everywhere. But it's just not. I don't see like there's just like one revolutionary that's going that who already have gotten to a place, rather than in the institutions where he's over some stuff and I guess backed and supported. But this, I was going as much as I can, like if I got to die for this, because I had dreams and stuff that me being killed by what I'm saying, the system and things like that, for whatever it's worth. But I feel that I'm down to be a revolutionary. To the best of my ability. If I got to die for this truth, sharing this truth with all my heart, I could do better. I believe I can do better, because I'm not out there. It's cold. It'd be cold out here. You know what I'm saying? It was just like 20 degrees, but is that an excuse? When I was out there serving, hustling on the streets. So I used to be out there doing it. Am I putting in, now I'm maybe questioning myself. Am I a revolutionary? Am I doing all I can do for the Most High now that I'm in this truth? And how can I compare my life of sin, when I was out there doing everything for the devil? If my work I'm putting in now, has it overshadowed that? Does it even compare? And I can't say it has. I can't say it has, and I'm not satisfied. So, from what you're saying, to me doing some speculation, soul searching, and make
Sorry, don't mean to interrupt. It sounds like your mic is somewhat out, brother recruiter. Adawi, try it again.
Can you hear me now?
It's still out a little. It sounds like it's muffled. Are you fully jacked in?
No, I'm not jacked in at all. Huh? Let me see. Speakerphone. Can you hear me now?
Oh, that's perfect. Great.
That's better.
Yeah.
Oh, apologies. But as far as being a revolutionary, I don't see any revolutionary, you know what I'm saying? There's many of us. I see that there's a lot of us, you know what I'm saying, that's out there being revolutionaries in the streets. You know, you got guys out there in the streets in our own way, in our own ministries. But for me, I feel like that I am not doing all that I could be doing in comparison to where I came from, like in the streets, you know what I'm saying, hustling, you know, trap houses on the corner when it's 30 below outside, 20 below. I'm not out there, you know, in the cold, witnessing, riding the buses that I can be doing today, trying to bring people into the truth. And even when I was a Christian, you know what I'm saying, as, you know, evangelizing, I was out there all the time, you know, witnessing to people. I feel that, you know, through this conversation and you asking me the question about being a revolutionary and not being afraid to die, not being afraid to go all in with everything, you know what I'm saying, full time. You know, whether it's internet, social media, on the streets, get this truth out, you know, I'm making a necessary adjustment based on this conversation right now, man, to go harder and not trying to promote myself, but or to make myself be a revolutionary, but because I feel that that's still a calling for myself and many of others to go out there into the earth, man, to all four corners of the earth, man, to go out there and make disciples, man. It's like our Mashiach told us, and sharing his truth. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, you did, and you said I want to get with you offline because I heard a lot in that statement, and to bring it to a crux, what I heard you say is build time, and it's time for you to put the pedal to the metal and really start building. And so we can link up after this conversation. We'll have many conversations after this. I want to steer you back to the 400 year. Thank you for that. I want to steer you back to that. As far as the 400 year goes, what's your perspective as far as that and where we are currently within that whole 400 year thing? Because as brother Banya said, or I call him Karab, I call him Brother Banya. As Karab said, we had the information and we were bantering the information back and forth, and then we decided to put it out. But what we did set out to do, and we set out to do this, we set out to put out a documentary that people would say, oh, you know what? Those brothers right there put out the best information concerning the 400 year. So that being said, I want to hear your perspective on the 400 year, where we are today with it.
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know where to start. Well, I'll just begin like this. Of course, the prophecy was in Genesis chapter 15. That's why I get the 400 year prophecy from.
God.
And I know that there's some people out there that says that it's Egypt, that was Egypt, you know, whether if it's a dual prophecy or not. There are dual prophecies in the scriptures. However, you know, and then as far as like in the book of Acts, you know, Stephen, he backtracks and tell a little history and includes the 400 year prophecy. But at the same time, for me, I had to understand, and as I do now, I believe that according to the scriptures, you know, we only know in part. We prophesy in part. We know in part. So even though that Stephen in Acts chapter 7 talked about the fulfillment of the prophecy in Genesis 15, I don't believe that that was the case. I believe it's for our time alone. And reason I say that is that the scripture is very clear. It says that they shall be afflicted in the land, not their own, for 400 years. And afterward, they shall come up with great substance after he judged it. But the affliction had to last for 400 years in that country. We were not, our ancestors, the ancient Israelites, were not in Egypt for 400 years total being afflicted. Now, if we believe that the word of the Most High is the word infallible, you know, and of the inspiration of the Ruach, then we have to set our minds to take the word as is. And even looking back at the timelines of the dates of when Abraham first received the covenant, at he was roughly 75 years old when he entered Canaan and received the first promise. And about time Jacob got down there, it was into Egypt. He was 130 years, but you do the math, it's actually 215 from Abraham receiving the covenant to them actually Jacob and the 70 going down into Egypt, and then 215 in Egypt, but they wasn't afflicted in Egypt for the whole 215 years because they were in Goshen for a while. And Joseph, can you guys hear me? My mic's still good?
We can hear you fine, bro.
Yeah,
okay.
you good.
Okay. All right. So because some of the discrepancies was that, okay, the 400 years, or was it 430 years? And when I just do my own study, I had to first pinpoint, you know what I'm saying? Okay, I recognize we Israel, and then I have to pinpoint and make sure before I begin to try to talk to people and things like that, and to try to figure out where we at, because I kind of like to have a idea of where we are in the time frame of prophecy, and it's something that always concerned me, and I wanted to be able to wake people up, because I don't want to perish, and I don't want nobody else to perish, regardless. So I had to study it to be able to try to reach people with clarity and to have information to back it up. Now, the 400 it's a 400, and then it's a 430 years, and then I'm going to talk about where we at today with it, to try to answer your question. So the 430 years was in Exodus chapter 12, verse 40 to 41, and it was saying that the sojourning of the children of Israel who dwelt in Egypt was 430 years, and the King James read that, but looking at other versions, it adds, you know, Canaan with the 430 years. Like, I go back to the Septuagint, or the Samaritan Pentateuch, and Ethiopic scriptures. It includes Canaan, because it says, and the sojourning of the children of Israel while they sojourned in the land of Egypt and the land of Canaan was 430 years. So it adds Canaan along with Egypt. So they sojourned in Canaan 215 years, and they dwelt in Egypt 215 years. So when I found that out, I studied that. I was like, okay, that 400 years was not for the ancient Israelites. And then also Josephus, he goes into the antiquity of the Jews, and he makes reference of that. Then the Paul makes reference of it in Galatians chapter 3, 16 through 17. He makes reference of it, of the 430 years from the time of Abram receiving the covenant to Moses giving the law. What the law was given through Moses was 430 years. So 215 apiece. And then pinpointing that also with the HR 1242, the African American Commission Act, and then the records that we have of us being here in 1619, all this stuff was just coming at the same time and becoming overwhelming, and it was making me share much more truth and try to present this to people so they can try to get an understanding, not just from what I'm presenting, but take what I'm presenting and go back and do your own research, because I don't want you. I'm not trying to make any, followers, sort of say, or someone who a carbon copy of myself, or someone who's not going to use their own brains and time to dig and get the truth for themselves. So it was obvious that after doing that study, the 400 years was for us. So when different camps, because I think I was running to some Israelite camps who wasn't preaching or teaching the 400-year prophecy or that applies to us, and actually they were actually come against it and rejected it, and I couldn't understand it. Because all the information is right here, and I just kept on studying, and then when that eclipse happened in 2017 of August 2017, it was eclipse, and when that eclipse it passed 7 cities in the U.S. with the name Salem. I mean, that's not a coincidence. And then 7 years later, this is like the 70th week in Daniel's that prophecy was talking about, that last week. And then the next eclipse will come 7 years later in 2024. And then we had the September 2017, we had the Revelation 12 sign. And I looked at it like all those was pinpointing for 2017 as the start date of the last 70th week in Daniel, and then in between point, being the 42 months of times and a half. Like it's a dual prophecy in Daniel. Daniel talks about that the saints, that the holy people shall be scattered for a time and a half, and that will be stripped of our power and things like that. That's what it talks about. That was fulfilled on a broader scale under the Roman Catholic Church. From my study, from the Roman Catholic Church, the Roman Empire, the revival Roman Empire, through the hands of Islam and Christianity, serving gods of wood and stone. So the scattering, I believe, started around 538 AD, which is the 1260 years, all the way to 1798. And then we have a break period. During that time, we were scattered at 1260 years on the Islam and Christianity, and then we come into after actually 1929 is a significant date that I found, because that's the time that the prophecies in Ezra's in chapter 11 and chapter 12 and Revelation 13 down from Revelation 13, when it talks about the beast out to sea, the first beast and the second beast. 1929 is where the prophecy seems like it's picking back up in our time, and all the prophecies are leading to the end of like 2024. You know what I'm saying? Where everything will, wherever everything will, you know what I'm saying? Where the saints shall gain the kingdom and reign forever and forever. And that's what I'm saying, that we're coming that close to like 2024, where it's going to be, where the X is across America. The X is complete.
Hey, all right. So I didn't mean to cut you. I didn't want to cut you off, but this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna have a quick intermission. Give everybody about 2 to 3 minutes to reset. For everybody that's watching, if you want to go grab something to drink or use the bathroom right now, to be the time to do it. When we come back, we're gonna let my brother Calvin. I'm gonna introduce him to you guys and let him pulling some lines of questions and comments that he may want to make. But we got 3 minutes and we're gonna come back. All right. So anybody that's watching, you got 3 minutes to use the bathroom, grab yourself something to drink, and then we'll be right back on.
All these lies and delusions wake me up, show me a new dawn. Open your eyes, rise, children of light. I am awakened, I am awakened. All these lies and delusions wake me up, show me a new dawn. Open your eyes, rise, children of light. I am awakened, I am awakened. All these lies and delusions wake me up, show me a new dawn. Open your eyes, rise, children of light. I am awakened, I am awakened. Clear my mind and my soul. Gave me a new mind. Oh, made me whole. I rise up. I'll be the new light. I am awakened. I am awakened. All these lies and delusions wake me up, show me a new dawn. Open your eyes, rise, children of light. I am awakened, I am awakened. Israelite's journey.
Shalom, shalom. We back. Okay, so brother Calvin, I want to introduce the brother Calvin real quick. He's new to the panel. So is the sister Tia, but we're all familiar with her and we're familiar with her work. So this is my brother Calvin right here. Like I knew him since I've been in the truth, and we wanted to help him onto the panel, and so he can ask some questions and listen in also. So did you have anything in particular you wanted to add or ask, brother Calvin? Your mic's muted.
Hey, shalom. Yeah. I'm brother Ezekiel. I've been been in been woken up since about like 2011 and things. And pretty much I also have a YouTube page. I've been knowing brother Banya for 7 years, as well as Elder Cleo on here. And just met the brother Ibri a couple days ago and everything, and obviously Sister Tia and the brother Recruiter. So shalom and all. And basically, I know we're talking about the prophecies and everything, and I pretty much just wanted to land me back, on the subject. Like, the brother, the recruiter, you were saying that we're trying to see what type of Israelites that's like revolutionary, revolutionist and things like that. And I just wanted to say, you waking up, you understanding the scriptures, and you out here doing what you can, that's already the revolution. You're a revolutionist. We all out here, we rebelling against the system and the wickedness of this world. That's why the Mashiach said that, hey, well, it says pick up your cross and follow me, but understanding, this is the burden that we're gonna get. He said that some of us will be, hated of our own family. Some of us get persecuted. Some of us would be, put to death for this. All these different things, and it's just, questioning yourself. If you ready to take on those, what can come, and if you losing your life for the Mashiach, from the Most High with the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit, then you've been, you are already separated. You're that set apart life, and you're rebelling against everything that's wicked, that contradicts the Torah, the law, statute, and commandments, and any of the words that the Most High raised up in the prophets. And I don't claim to be a prophet, but just waking us up to put his words in us and write his laws in our mind and our heart. This is what we do. So we all taking on that job to revolt against the religions of the world, and so forth and so on. But and we're supposed to give the warnings, of the prophecies and stuff. There's blessings in prophecies, and there are warnings in prophecy. And majority of the prophecies is always talking about, hey, turn back to the Most High, keep his law, statute, and commandments. Be the the salt of the earth, be the light of the world. Everybody looks upon us to make sure we do what is righteous and everything. So I mainly like Brother Banya, and I was explaining to Brother Ibri, just my focus is, like you were saying earlier, just everybody has different positions and in the body, and different offices and things, and just my main focus, like my teachings, is just the Torah. It's applying the laws to your everyday living, like situations that we may have, that we go through, and how do we apply the Most High's laws and live it out. Because I don't like using the word act out, because I'm not an actor. So I just I'm just trying to do the best that I can. So what prophecies that seem like they're warnings that can happen, because plagues and all this comes on, Most High willing, I'm following his laws and keeping his Torah and keeping focus on that. I'm not worried about what's going on, pestilence going over here, rockets going over there. I'm walking that straight path. That ain't my business. So that's pretty much all I got to say. I mean, and I'm thankful, Brother Banya and Brother Ibri, y'all allow me to come on here and speak and everything. And I do have a YouTube channel, and it's mainly just talking about the laws and how you just apply it to self. So that's all.
What's the name of your channel, real quick?
Ezekiel. It's just called Ezekiel. And I'll send you the link, so you can put it on there, because it's kind of hard to find, and people sometimes just I tell them to type in law, statute, and commandments, and then that'll pop up. I don't know why I spelled it all in caps, so
Post it in the private chat, and then I'll share it with the rest of it.
Okay, thank you, Brother Bonnie.
Audience, absolutely, brother.
So,
but
I mute myself.
All right, thanks. But back to the brother recruiter, because you were saying something about 2024, and isn't that supposed to coincide with the next eclipse, which is supposed to put an X on America, brother Dawei?
Yeah, Yeah, and I'm trying to stay away from dates and things like that. So I'm not here saying that, oh, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, but just something that I'm being mindful of, and I encourage people to be mindful of and just see the signs. The scripture tells us that the moon and stars and things were meant to be signs of appointed seasons and things like that. And these things happen, these occurrences happen in the scriptures, but that X across America, in the 70th week, in Daniel chapter 9, it talks about, I think it's around Daniel 9:24. Maybe I'll read it. But and a lot of people have different understandings and things like that. So I don't know if it's the same understanding is for us all, but it should be. But anyways, it talks about let me see. And Daniel 9:24, 70 weeks are determined upon thy people and upon the holy city to finish the transgression and to make an end of sin and to make reconciliation for iniquity and to bring in everlasting righteousness and to seal up vision and prophecy and to anoint the most holy. And Daniel 12, it talks about this time as well, time of great trouble that's soon to come. But in Daniel 12, verse 9, it says, and he said, go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed. And what's important about this passage here is that it actually gives days. I mean, it gives actual days that, if we add the days and put the days on paper and look for something in history, with that understanding, then we can see, when these things were fulfilled or when it's going to be fulfilled, possible. So in Daniel chapter 12, verse 9, and he says, go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed to the time of the end. Many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. And from the time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away, and the abomination that maketh desolate set up, there shall be 1,290 days. So he's given us 1,290 days right there, actual number from the time when the daily sacrifice is taken away until the abomination that makes things desolate is set up. And then he says, going on, the prophecy says, blessed is he that waiteth and cometh to the 1,305 and 30 days. But go thou thy way to the end, for thou shalt rest and stand in thy lot at the end of days. So he gave us two actual whole numbers. So he gave us a starting point from when the abomination, when the daily sacrifice was ceased, and then when a abomination desolation is set up, and then after that, the days until those who are waiting will be blessed. Now it's the next thing is trying to figure out that time. How does that coincide with the other things that I was learning? That I can be able to see where we are and become that, what the brother was saying about the revolutionary, when he said about the main bar he dropped was like revolt. Yeah, that I take that because I receive that because that's what we are doing. That don't mean I gotta be out there, you know what I'm saying, like a Black Panther, you know what I'm saying, in the news and everything like that. That I know there's a time gonna come where we really gonna have to probably lose our lives, when the 144,000 and all that other stuff, and the elect be taken away, some get left behind, and here in the world, and there's a lot of things in prophecy, but those dates, I want to go back to those dates. Now, and some people have a lot of different doctrines. There's a lot of doctrines in Israel, And there are several different abominations of desolation that the scriptures talks about. You know, with the Grecian, Antioch, Epiphanes, the Roman desolation, but they all have to fit. They all have to fit. You know what I'm saying? The 1,290 days and the 1,335 days. And what's the numbers is really their years. Actually, they're not days. They're prophetic years. So I had to go back to the daily sacrifices being taken away, and it's actually pointing to when the captivity, when Judah went into captivity for the first time under Nebuchadnezzar, and he took all the royals. You know, Daniel left. You know, the three Hebrew boys. You know, Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego. I know that wasn't their Hebrew names, but that's when they took, and that was around what 605 BC, 606 BC. So the daily sacrifice, they took the priests, they took the furnishings of the temple, the Levites was using to do the daily sacrifices. So the sacrifices had stopped during that time in 605, and many of the Israelites from Judah went into Babylonian captivity, 605. And then it says, until the abomination of desolation be set up, or the abomination that make it desolate set up. And he gave us, was it 1,290 days or prophetic years. So then we have to go to an abomination. You know, first we had to figure out when the sacrifices stopped and how did that look. Then the days, what happened if you add from 605, you add 1,290, that bring us to 500 and 85 or 586, one of those numbers. And that brings us to the time when the Dome of the Rock was built. All right, that brings us to the time when the Dome of Rock was built in Jerusalem, and that was another form of abomination that was set up that made it desolate. And then the key point is, after the final number he gave us in Daniel chapter 12 was the 1,335 years. So when we add that from the time when the Dome of the Rock was built, it brings us to the date where we at right now, 2020. And of course, our New Year's is coming up in March. Okay, our New Year's is in March. That's when our New Year's is come, and then we're going into, I guess it would probably be 2021. But the Bible, from adding those times and the dates of those events, brings us like right at 2020, where, you know, as far as that first X that went across America 2017. To the last one, after 7 years later, that 70th week of Daniel, to 2024, that halfway point brings us right into March coming up, which also is equivalent and parallels with our 400-year prophecy, like after 400 years. So it'd be after the 400 years that we coming out and coming in right at that end of the 401. Obviously, we're going by 1619, because it says after. We had to do a complete 400 years, and then it also parallels, like we talked about, with the two X's, so it's right in the middle. So I'm looking possibly the beginning of the year, New Year's, it may be like maybe start the second Exodus, man. You know, I just got to say,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say we took pretty much the same stance as you concerning dates. This is not a promotion of the military, because I don't believe our people belong in their military fighting their wars. But what I learned when I was in the military is to pay close attention to detail, and in learning that, you know, you read things differently also. You know, so paying close attention to the detail within the prophecy that's written within Genesis 15 and 12 through 14, right? We see that there's some stipulations involved. We see 400 years of affliction. We see in the land that's not theirs, or a strange land, according to what's written in Acts. We see also, when you add what's in Acts to that they would be brought into bondage. And we see that before any exodus is to happen, or any coming out with great substance, judgment is to take place. Right. So our stance right now is that we're in the judgment phase. That what we see happening today is all the things that are culminating in order for us to be let go. Some of the things are regarding the signs which is within the heavens, the eclipse, the blood moons, the fallen, quote unquote, fallen stars, and there's also signs or plagues within the earth that we see: mass animal die-offs, pestilence, earthquakes in diverse places, wars and rumors of wars, rivers and lakes turning blood red.
Yes.
You see all these different things happening that are indicators to what's going on, because as it's written, there's no new thing under the sun. But the sister Tia, she had a interesting perspective on the inception of those who say they are Jews and are not, the inception of that state, and the I believe it's the 70 years of Daniel. Sister Tia, could you reiterate on that? I remember you saying something to me about that. You there, Sister Tia? She's not in right now. Yeah. So she was. Oh, your mic went on mute. Yeah, one. I think you might have the wrong mic. How's it now? Is it working? There it is. It looks like it's working now.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
My cell phone wouldn't allow my microphone to unmute. Wow, it is on. Go sit there. I'm sorry. Absolutely. Yes, to the recruiter. When I was studying, and you would be the most perfect person to ask, Daniel chapter 9, verse 2, it speaks about 70 years. And when I went to go read Jeremiah 25, as well as Jeremiah 29, verses 10 through 14, from what I'm gathering, and I pray that this is correct, the state of Israel is 70 years old from the time of its insurrection in 1948 till present day, is actually 72 years old. Now, what's so weird is that we're actually 402 years in our captivity. And when you read this, it seems as to me that Jeremiah was prophesying about the state of Israel, and that it seems that America and Israel might be destroyed together.
Mm-hmm.
If we can just read the scripture so that the room can get a better understanding of what I'm saying, can we just go to Daniel chapter 9, verse 2, and then we'll follow up with Jeremiah 29, verses 10 through 14, because this is what Daniel was reading in order for him to gain the understanding about the 70 years.
All right, so what was how long was it? Because I didn't want to get too deep into it.
No, we'll just read Daniel chapter 9, verse 2, and then shoot over to Jeremiah chapter 29, verses 10 through 14. It's a quick read.
Okay.
You want me to read it?
Yeah. Yes, please.
Yeah,
okay.
you should, because you didn't.
All right, Daniel.
On it.
Daniel 9, verse 2. In the first year of his reign, I, Daniel, understood by books the number of the years whereof the word of Yah came to Jeremiah the prophet, that he would accomplish 70 years in the desolations of Jerusalem. All right. And you said Jeremiah 29? What verse? Hello? Hello?
Hello,
Yeah.
Sister Tia. What was the verse in Jeremiah, Sister Tia?
I think it was 29, verse 10 through 14. She said,
Okay. That
but
sounds.
I'm not sure.
I think that may be sounding about right. Okay, I'm gonna start from 29 verse 9. For they prophesy false. I don't know if that's the right one. 10, 29, 10. For thus says Yah, that after 70 years be accomplished at Babylon, I will visit you and perform my good word towards you, and causing you to return to this place. For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, saith Yah, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. Then shall he call upon me, and he shall go and pray unto me, and I will hearken unto you. And he shall seek me and find me when he shall search me, when you search for me with all your heart, and I will be found of you, says Yah, and I will turn away your captivity and will gather you from all the nations and from all the places where I have driven you, says Yah, and I will bring you again into the place whence I caused you to be carried away captive. So from those understanding the understanding I got from those two passages, I look at it, maybe it's a dual prophecy, but I don't necessarily see it as a dual prophecy at this time, because I'm looking more so, all right, at the reason why is that the captivity of Judah, Daniel. Hello, is that me? Okay,
Go
you
ahead.
got
Go
it.
ahead.
Okay, I'm looking at.
I put the wrong one in. I put the wrong one in here.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so sorry about that. I don't know what happened. My phone would not let me talk.
Glad to have you back.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm sorry about that. Did you read? I couldn't even hear what was going on. I was asking you to read Jeremiah chapter 29, verses 10 through 14, because it seems like to me, the state of Israel, the Most High is about to destroy it. And then we're going to come out of here at the same time that America is destroyed as well.
Do us a favor, brother recruiter. Read that over again for us to see if so sister can expound on it.
Okay. Daniel, let me see. Daniel chapter
29.
I'm gonna read one of Daniel first. I think it was Daniel. Was it Daniel 9? You had two of them.
Daniel 9, chapter 2.
Okay, all right. Daniel 9, chapter 2, and it reads: In the first year of his reign, I, Daniel, understood by books the number of the years whereof the word of Yah came to Jeremiah the prophet, that he would accomplish 70 years in the desolations of Jerusalem. Okay, and then go back to the prophecy in Daniel. I mean
Jeremiah 29, verses 10 through 14.
And it reads, for thus says Yah, that after 70 years be accomplished at Babylon, I will visit you and perform my good word towards you, in causing you to return to this place. For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, saith Yah, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. Then shall he call upon me, and he shall go and pray unto me, and I will hearken unto you. And he shall seek me and find me when he search me with all your heart. I will be found of you, says Yah, and I will turn away your captivity and gather you from all the nations and from all the places where I have driven you, says Yah, and I will bring you again into the place whence I caused you to be carried away captive.
Now, doesn't that sound like the promise in Deuteronomy chapter 30, as well as Isaiah chapter 11, 11, and 12? This sounds like that after the 70 years is accomplished in Jerusalem, right, over there in the state of Israel, because for them it's going to be bad because they're not going to come out of there until the Most High destroy that place. That's why we can't go over there, right? So isn't it weird that when the 400-year prophecy happened in 2019, they turned 70 years old? The state of Israel has been in existence for 72 years now, so in 2021. But when we hit the 400-year marker in 2019, they also turned 70 years old.
So if I gather what's being said, you're saying that they're also in the judgment phase?
Absolutely. If you go to Jeremiah chapter 25, verses 10 through 12, because the only way they're going to get out of there is if they get destroyed. If you watch a video on YouTube, they know they're not the people, but they tell you they're not coming out of there. So they're not going to willingly leave. The Most High is going to have to destroy that place. So if you go to Jeremiah chapter 25 really quick and read verses 10 through 12, you're going to see that this is the precept to Revelations 18, verses 22 to 23, where it talks about New York being destroyed. But let me read it really quick. In Jeremiah chapter 25, verse 10 through 11, it says, "Moreover, I will take from them the voice of mirth and the voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom, the voice of the bride, the sound of a millstone and the light of a candle. And the whole land shall be a desolation and an astonishment. And these nations shall serve the king of Babylon 70 years. You see that? All the nations are serving the king of Babylon right now for 70 years. Why? Because America's in bed with Israel.
Mm-hmm.
You see how all the nations tend to them? Oh, the state of Israel. Oh, Israel, they're God's chosen people. Oh, it's them, it's them, it's them, when they know it's not.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you keep on reading verse 12, and it shall come to pass when the 70 years are accomplished, that I will punish the king of Babylon and the nations, saith the Elohim, for their iniquity in the land of the Chaldeans, and will make it a perpetual desolation. And I will bring upon the land all my words which I have pronounced against it, even all that is written in this book, which Jeremiah have prophesied against all the nations. For many nations and great kings shall serve themselves of them also, and I will recompense them according to their deeds and according to their works in their own hands." So when you keep on reading this thing, it tells you, verse 15, "For thus saith the Elohim Yah of Israel unto me, take the wine cup of his fury at my hand and cause all the nations who I send thee to drink it, and they shall drink and be moved and be mad because of the sword that I will send among them." He's going to send the sword among all of the nations, but he's going to start with America and the state of Israel first, because remember, they're in alliance with each other. So if one of them go to war, the other one is going to try to back it up, and it's going to cause both of them to fall. And I just find it so weird that when our captivity hit 400 years in 2019, they also turned 70 years old.
All right, so here's a question. Here's a question I have, not only for you but everybody in the panel. What are some of the indicators that this is happening within that area?
First of all, if they were the Most High's chosen people, they would not have the CCP virus. And you know, when I say that, what that means, they would not. When it comes to us, we do not have it. But because our enemies are in charge of the news reports, they can play them out to their advantage to make us look sickly when we are not. So that's number one. Two, they're on lockdown. Why are they on lockdown? Three, they are forced to be vaccinated. Okay. Four, they actually they had an economic crash last month. Okay. Also, they are prime.
It was the government's collapse, didn't it?
It sure did.
The government
Uh-huh.
collapsed. Well, I
Yeah.
think it was either last month or the month before.
Yeah, it might have been the month before.
Yeah.
So all of these things are coming upon them, right? So why is this happening to so-called quote unquote the Most High's chosen people? When in Isaiah 60, it specifically says when the righteous people are back in its land, that the world will be at peace. None of this would be happening. And Iran and Iraq and all of the neighboring countries are growing increasingly mad with them, wanting to start war. They're always in a position to be possibly bombed very soon, even though they're the antagonist of most of the attacks that will come upon them. They are the antagonist, but one day those attacks will come.
All right, so brother recruiter, I wanna share a question with you from Apostle TK. They have this question right here. I want to see how would you answer this question right here? He said Jeremiah said Yah will bring us back from all countries at a time when we're scattered abroad. It has to be at least a dual prophecy, at best a direct prophecy for now.
Yeah. I that's a good question. I was actually or comment. I was thinking about that just now too, because it seems like because that did happen. The 70 years we were Judah was in captivity. Exactly for 70 years. They did come back, beginning with Ezra and Nehemiah building the walls in the temple. But it also, a lot of the prophecies are dual in nature, and they didn't come from, we wasn't from every place. So today, as far as our time is concerned, we're scattered to the four corners of the earth, and the way a lot of the prophets were speaking, I do see that it was for people in time and for a future time.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's only when we, when we hear it and just try to be listening and get the information that we can make sense out of things.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And just really quick to expound on that, the reason why I brought up Brother Banya, I had brought it to Brother Banya because one of the straw man quote unquote kickbacks we get is that Deuteronomy 28:68 had already happened, because they said that we did go back to Egypt, and it's true. When you read in Jeremiah chapter, what's this, 43, you'll see that we actually went back into the land of Egypt. But the Most High says in Deuteronomy 28:68 that you'll go to Egypt with ships by the way whereof I spake unto thee, and thou shalt see it no more again. So this furthermore proves that we never, it's talking about us at this time, because we have never physically as a nation seen the land of Egypt, although our ancestors went back into Egypt in Jeremiah 43 because they were already over there. And also, just to get a little more meat out of this, it says in Jeremiah 43 that all of the people who came back after the 70 years and went back into the land, guess what? They went into Egypt again on their own. They decided to leave Jerusalem and to go ahead and go into Egypt, and they were destroyed over there. And that Pharaoh, the Most High, actually sent him into the hand of his enemies. So the reason why I said that is because when we come out this time, we're not going to ever want to go to any other nation ever again. So this clearly is proving that it's not talking about them at that time. This 400-year prophecy and everything, they all coincide with each other. If you look at, and I'm be quiet after this, but Genesis 15, which produces the 400-year prophecy, coincides with the curses of Deuteronomy 28. Jeremiah 17:4 coincides with this. Acts the 7th chapter, where it tells you we're going to go beyond Babylon, coincides with what we're talking about. Ezekiel 37, which is the valley of the dry bones, talk about now, because never in the history of the children of Israel did we all forget who we were throughout, throughout the whole nation. Nobody knows anything anymore. And then also Jeremiah 43 proves we went back into Egypt, as well as Jeremiah 44. And then if you read Jeremiah 51, it expressly it shows that we'll be in Babylon, and that a remnant of us will awaken back to trying to be who we were in the former times. So I just wanted to throw that out there, because the 70 years from what I'm reading is definitely coinciding with the prophecies that's coming ahead for spiritual Egypt, which is America, which houses Mystery Babylon, as well as that state of Israel. And I'm going to chill out now.
You know, that's interesting, because a lot of times people would ask me, well, why you focus on the 400 years? Why you focus on the 400 years? And I tell them, yeah, it's connected to everything. It's connected to why we're here. It's connected to the our Exodus. It's connected to us keeping the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. It's all connected. It's all connected.
Yes, it is.
You know, when you start asking these questions of one of the questions we mainly ask is what's next. You got to come with the what, the why, the who, the where, the how. You got to ask these questions in order to come up with answers that's going to be productive for you moving forward, right? So and also with the brother with Jeremiah, like one of the things that people have to understand is it's an order. It's always an order to the way the Most High does things, right? Now, in the Dead Sea Scrolls, it tells you that the southern kingdom would be in the desert first. It says the sons of light, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, right? Which is in its entirely called the Judah, right?
Yeah.
Or the southern kingdom, right? Now, Jeremiah tells us that we would leave out of the land of the north first. All right. Jeremiah says that he will it will no longer be said that the Most High liveth that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, but the Most High liveth that brought up and raised out of the seed of Israel from the land of the north. And then it says in all the other countries from which he scattered them. So that lets you know that the land of the north would be the epicenter of judgment. That would be the epicenter of the Exodus. Also, the scripture says that he would save the tents of Judah first, so that the inhabitants of Jerusalem and the people don't magnify themselves against him. So a lot of times, even not to be on a negative side, but what you often see when we start talking about the Exodus and talking about the 400-year prophecy, that people say to us, well, why you feel like it's only happening to you? And this right. Is why it's not only you, it's not only you. And that's them trying to magnify themselves over us. We're not trying to magnify ourselves over anybody. We're just saying what we're seeing according to all the stipulations that's written, it would apply to this place first. And, and you don't see us doing that when we start hearing our brothers and sisters talking about their plight within the earth. We don't say, well, what about us? We're in unity with that. We're like, yeah, they did y'all wrong. They did our people wrong, and whether you're in here in the diaspora, wherever, we don't like it. We've never tried to magnify ourselves against our brothers and sisters. That's something that commonly happens with us, and that's how the Most High has ordered the things, because if he didn't do it in the order, then it would be confusion. There's a reason why he's bringing us out first. What is within the southern kingdom? You have the kingship, you have the priesthood, you have the warriors within there. So you go. So it's prudent for the Most High to bring out the southern kingdom first, right? You know,
Yep.
the spirit of revolution. We've always been the lead on everything, even on the things where we did in ignorance. A brother said this to me before. We influenced the world even in our ignorance, right?
Wow.
You know, and it's interesting because even we look at Martin Luther King and you look at Malcolm X, who are the people that who regard in high standards when you talk about revolutionaries? You know, you talk about things that's changed society. They regard our people in those things. You know, like I was saying, the 400 years, man, it dovetails into all of that. It's prudent. It's important. I wanted to ask the brother recruiter, as far as some of the information that you've come across, what type of books have you come across that may or may not support the understanding of the 400 years?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question. I was just looking at book right now. As far as in support of the 400 years, you know, the initial prophecy that I picked up from Genesis 15, we're familiar with that one. But in the pseudepigrapha books, it looked as though that the conversation is expounded on in the book of the Apocalypse of Abraham. And I'm looking at it right now, and they actually have the precept to the particular passage I'm going to read right now, as of Genesis 15, 13, 14. And Apocalypse of Abraham 32, and I pick up from the third verse, and it says, "And they will go out into an alien land, and they will enslave them and oppress them as for 1 hour of the impious age. But of the nation whom they shall serve, I am the judge." And Yah said this too. "You heard Abraham, what I told you, what your tribe will encounter in the last days. Abraham, having heard, accepted the words of Yah in his heart." So, concerning the 400 years, you know, it's clearly saying that he's getting the same points from Genesis 15, that they will be enslaved. They'll be enslaved by a nation. He's going to judge that nation, and then he draws a conclusion, put an exclamation point behind it, and said, "In the last days." You know, so Egypt was in the last days. You know, when we was, because the time's still going on. Right now, we're in the last days. Things haven't been fulfilled, but now we're in the last days. And this particular passage brings that out and tells us. Then there's a book of the Ladder of Jacob. That's another one of the pseudepigrapha books, volume 2, and the letter of Jacob expounds on the Genesis 15 prophecy as well. And the letter of Jacob, I'll read that really quick. In chapter 5, it says, "Thus he said to me, you have seen a ladder with 12 steps, each step having 2 human faces, which kept changing their appearance. The ladder is this age." The 12, and this one he was having, you know, he had the dream, the angels going up and down the stairs. And this goes into more detail. He said, "The ladder is this age, and the 12 steps are the periods of this age. But the 24 faces are the kings of the ungodly nations of this age. Under these kings, the children of your children and the generations of your sons will be interrogated. These will rise up against the iniquity of your grandsons." So the nation's going to rise up against the iniquity of our forefathers, and so forth, us. And this place will be made desolate by the 4 accents, or the 4 different kingdoms that we read in Daniel chapter 2. You know, so it's 4 accents, 4 kingdoms, through the sins of your grandsons. Verse 8, "And around the property of your forefathers a palace will be built, a temple in the name of your God and of your fathers, the God of your fathers, and in the provocations of your children it will become deserted by the 4 accents of this age. For you saw the first 4 busts which were striking against the steps, angels ascending and descending, and the busts amid the steps. The Most High will raise up kings from the grandsons of your brother Esau, and they will receive all the nobles of the tribes of the earth, who will have maltreated your seed, and they will be delivered into his hands, and he will be vexed by them, and he will hold them by force and rule over them, and they will not be able to oppose him until the day his God will go against them to serve idols and to sacrifice to the dead. He will do violence. That's almost done. He will do violence to all those in his kingdom who will be revealed in such guilt, both to the highest man from your tribe, and this word is the hidden ones. Know, Jacob, that your descendants shall be exiles in a strange land, and they will afflict them with slavery and inflict wounds on them every day. But the Lord will judge the people for whom they slave.
Mm.
So it makes a clear difference as far as like who this captivity will be by. You know what I'm saying? It's not Egyptians, but they made a clear reference to the children of Esau. All right, the children of Esau will hold us by force. They will be in cahoots, or they will be the kings and the nobles. They got all the nobles and things like that. And just as the prophecy in Genesis 15, the expounding of that in the Apocalypse of Abraham, all the way to the letter of Jacob. And I read a lot of the missing books and things like that, and it adds more to the picture. And like it makes me wonder, like, yeah, I would have probably, if I was Esau and I was, you know what I'm saying, wanted to have their history, I would have had these books too. And it's very, I run across people that don't really read the hidden books or the extra books, the books that are taken out, apocrypha and the pseudepigrapha and so forth. But there's information in there.
That's awesome right there. I wanted to ask you, are you familiar with the Targums of Ankylos?
Yeah, I think I have it on my website.
All right, because I wanted to share something and for everybody, and because I always get this question. What book was that, brother Bunny, I was reading from? Now, the book I'm reading from, I want to share two passages with you, brother, and everybody in the panel who may not be familiar with it. All right, so the Targums of Ankylos, right? It's at the Targum of Ankylos and Jonathan ben Uzu on the Pentateuch with fragments of the Jerusalem Targums. Right now, this was translated by J.W. Etheridge, and he's also responsible for the translation of the New Testament within the Pseudo-Syriac. Right now, let me share something with you. These two passages I'm going to read. This is what makes it profound, because it actually connects the 400 years to the prophecy that's spoken within Daniel, which would confirm what the sister Biblical T and also what you were saying, and it'll also confirm what you were saying concerning Esau having something to do with that 400-year captivity. Now, listen to this. It says in the first part, and this is in page 202 in the Targums of the Palestine Targums. It says, and this is the translation of Genesis 15, 12 through 14, by the way. It says, and when the sun was nearing to set, a deep sleep was thrown upon Abraham, and behold, 4 kingdoms arose to enslave his children: terror, which is Babel; darkness, which is Madai; greatness, which is Javan; decline, which is Ferris, which is to fall and to have no uplifting, and from whence it is to be that the children of Israel would come up. And he said to Abraham, knowing thou must know that thy sons shall dwell in a land not their own, because thou hast not believed, and they will subjugate and afflict them 400 years. And also that people whom they shall serve, I would judge with 250 plagues. And after that, they should go forth into liberty with great riches. Now, when we read this, you see the 4 kingdoms that Daniel was given also within the prophecy spoken to Abraham. But then furthermore, you see that the Most High says that he would hit that kingdom with 250 plagues. Now we know that Egypt was only hit with 10 plagues, right? So what this tells you is this translation does not believe that Egypt was the place where the 400 years of affliction was accomplished. But
Right.
So
not,
can I ask you a question? So is
mhm.
it a possibility that there is it two 400-year prophecies, one for Egypt, and they came out at 430, and then one for us? Is that a possibility?
No, it's not a possibility, and the reason why is
Okay,
because the 430 was just their full sojourning. All right,
got you.
but
Okay,
the time of affliction didn't start until after Moses was born. You see what I'm
right, right.
saying?
Okay,
So
yeah, yeah.
when we look at the when we look at the time frame, and then the brother gave it 215 years in Canaan and 215 years in Egypt, which adds to
Right.
the sum of 430 years sojourning. But it's kind of
Yeah,
like yeah.
I'm just asking for the sake of all the scoffers who try to
Mhm.
come up with any reason, like certain people that I've been affiliated with. Everything is two of everything is, so just
Mhm.
to knock out any possibility of it
Yeah.
being 400 years, let's
Mhm.
just get that out in the open. It's talking about America. It's just no way
Mhm.
around it.
Absolutely. In this next passage I'm going to read is going to confirm it. But also I would like to say too, a lot of times you got to be careful with the dual prophecy thing, because sometimes people would use that in order to go back later on and say, well, I was wrong. It was only applying to this place. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times people would use that in order to just to go back and change what they said before. Now, here's another passage within the Targums. Now, it's basically going to be saying the same thing, but it's going to be giving us a little bit more on the culprits. Because remember, that fourth kingdom it said was Pharaoh, but it's going to give the actual translation of what Pharaoh is in this one, right? And it says, and when the sun was going to set, a sleep profound and sweet fell upon Abraham. And behold, Abraham saw four kingdoms which should arise to bring his sons into subjection. And terror, the greatness of darkness, fell upon him. Terror, that is Babel. Darkness, that is Madai. Greatness, that is Greece. Fell, that is Edom. It
Mm-hmm.
says fell, that is Edom. And then in parentheses, it says Rome, the fourth kingdom, which is to fall and never to rise again forever and ever. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So what we see is Edom was associated with the 400 years of affliction. All right. So
Mm-hmm.
what does that tell you? That tells you again that it's not Egypt. Who was in Egypt? Right. And
Mm-hmm.
and also in our earlier studies, when we first did a lesson on the 400 years, we brought out that king that was ruling Egypt wasn't even an Egyptian; he was an
Mm-hmm.
Assyrian.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Remember when we read the scripture where it says, my people sojourned in Egypt for a time, and the Assyrian afflicted them without cause.
Yeah.
That
Mm-hmm.
Assyrian was the one that was afflicting them in Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't an Egyptian. You gotta ask yourself if Joseph was so well known and so highly regarded, and the children of Israel, you read in the book of Jubilees and Joshua that the Egyptians honored the children of Israel. These were
Mm-hmm.
they honored them. For one, they were the ones who brought forth their livestock, because they were the ones that were doing the farming and bringing forth all the things that would make Egypt prosper within there.
Mm-hmm.
They were known for being cattle herders and things like
Mm-hmm.
that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you
Mm-hmm.
have Joseph who saved Egypt from famine. So
Right.
what would happen for them not to regard Joseph when the Egyptians were known for erecting idols and statues in I want to say in honor of those type of people. They kept
Mm-hmm.
records. They knew who Joseph was and the children of Israel was. But when you
Mm-hmm.
read further, you find out that this Assyrian that was ruling over Canaan didn't want Israel to go back into the land of Canaan. He knew that their hearts and their minds were set towards that land, and he wanted to keep them away from it. Right?
Just like today.
Sounds similar, right? So yeah, that was something I wanted to share with you also. You can look into it if you get a chance. The Targums of Ankylos. It's got a lot of good information.
I actually looked into it when you first presented it, when I first came across your channel. See, one thing for me is when it comes to the books that were removed from the scriptures, or the hidden knowledge, which is no longer hidden really, because you see we're reading it today. Those books, most of them are the word of the Most High. They precept like crazy off of the regular standard King James Version. So what we have to know as the people of the book is that we can't let our enemies, especially with their preface that they write on these books, on how they view these books. Of course, they're going to say they're not the word of God because it goes against them, and it's going to show forth who they are. And it's like they're trying to control your perspective on things. And as long as they have your mind, they know they'll be able to hide these things from you. So when it comes to the Targums of Ankylos and other books that were taken, I'm all in them. So you definitely are bringing out a lot of truth with that. And really quick, in Daniel chapter 9, verse 11, I also believe that this is further proving that all of the curses of Deuteronomy 28 had not been fulfilled, because he says that all the curses that the prophet Moses had wrote about was now upon them. So it's just really funny how Daniel was in physical Babylon. And when you look at Daniel chapter 3, verse 3, it tells you how Babylon was set up. And I just find it so funny. I'm going to just read it really quick. It says they had governors, right? They had a wall. They had their presidents. They had governors, captains, and judges. It sounds so much, even sheriffs and officers. It sounds so much like how America is formed today. And if you go read Daniel chapter 7, especially, this can go to the brother, the recruiter, because I know he could bear witness to this, because it seems like Daniel might be his specialty. You know where it talks about in Daniel chapter 7 how Nebuchadnezzar got that curse put on him when he came out there all proud about his kingdom, and then the dew of heaven came on him, and he grew wings like an eagle, and his hands became like the nails of an eagle. We all know that symbol for Babylon is for Babylon. But before that happens to him, the Most High says he gives the kingdom of men to who he want to give the kingdom to. And it seems like to me, America also copied that symbol of the eagle from what happened to Nebuchadnezzar. Although they didn't put the image of a man's head on there, they just took the whole eagle itself as their symbol, because the Most High gave the kingdom to them. This is their time to rule, and this is why they have all of their governors and their presidents. They got it out the book. When you read the book of Daniel, the presidents was the ones who came against Daniel and told that he was praying to try to get him killed. That's when they threw him into the lion's den. So if you just pay attention to the parallels between physical Babylon and this place today, you're going to see America copied a lot of the ways of Babylon. Even the way the institutions are set up with governors and all of that and so forth, and presidents that come from the scriptures.
Real quick, the brother Dorf L, he wanted to know those books that you were reading, brother Dahi.
That was the Apocalypse of Abraham and the Ladder of Jacob. It's in the pseudepigrapha books.
Yeah. I could tell you, it's been a blessing for me to have an elder like the brother Cleo over me, and having the brothers like Calvin that's been grooming me, because what you learn is you learn how to look at information subjectively, right? Now that is to say, don't have a religious mind about things, because often our people throw away books as soon as they find out there's something that's translated that doesn't add up to them. They throw away the whole book. But we gotta remember, when you do study, you gotta study as a scholar. You gotta gather the information, and the information that doesn't doesn't corroborate, then don't use it. But the thing is also that it's good when you have books that don't agree on everything, because what you find is then there's no bias within the information. You see what I'm saying? So when we study, we can't study according to what the Roman Catholic Church has quantified for us to be to have. We can't say, oh yeah, because this is canonized, this is good to read. Like, these are the same people that stole all the records, right? They
But do
stole
they
all the
even know
records.
what it means when it says canonized and who did it?
Exactly.
Martin Luther. Martin Luther thought, first of all, Martin Luther is the one who canonized everything, not Martin Luther King, but Martin Luther
Mhm.
during the 14th or 15th century. He the one who said that he wasn't going to allow the book of Revelations, the book of Hebrews, and Jude to be included into the scriptures because he didn't think it said Jesus enough. So we're going to take the word of somebody who thinks like that. What would we do without Revelations? What would we do without Hebrews?
Mhm.
So these are the people that they're listening to. And then why shouldn't we read them books? The Roman Catholics read it.
Mhm. Exactly. Did any of you other brothers have anything to add on to this, or any questions? Because I
Yeah, it's
know.
brother Ezekiel, Calvin. Yeah, just I mean the fact that they got the 52 long mile archive underneath the Vatican. I mean that should tell you, even when they showed it in the movie Angels and Demons with what's his name,
Oh, Tom
Tom
Hanks.
Hanks. Yeah, Tom Hanks. Yeah, they showed it. I mean, they sick like that. They always showed us to tell you to floss. Like, yeah, we got all your history down here, but we won't let you in here to know it. And then we purposely rewrite it in our language in the Latin so you can't translate it. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
all these things, they do have these things, and that's why like me nitpicking with the scriptures, like I said, because I really go through everything through the Hebrew. Even I was explaining what brother Banya, the Aramaic translation of the New Testament, it was originally translated in Hebrew and Aramaic before the Greek and the Vulgate, which is the Latin, and then the English, because that's when it got
Mm-hmm.
corrupted. So there's a lot of bones that they did in there, and me just picking it out and just doing the due diligence of trying to see what matches, because that's why I said, like, with me, I'm really thorough on the laws, and then I try to match it with what every prophet says and everything. What's the incident why Israel sinned, and okay, let me go match this back with the law, just like even with Christ, when we have brothers and sisters who's, non-messianic, and, Christians who only deal with half the book, they'll say this about that, or, non-messianics will say, well, JC, broke the law, or he changed the law. And it's like, prove it. Well, they'll say, well, he called himself being equal with the Most High. Well, wait a second. Like Banya said, like, yo, you gotta you really have to dissect that word and look at it. Take your time and reading it, because if Christ or the Mashiach didn't say that, like for instance, they said that it was blasphemy that the Mashiach said he was equal with the Most High. Well, wait a second. Where in the red lettering do we see that he said that? you
Mhm.
know he
Right.
didn't say that. So
Mm-mm.
and in the Torah and the laws, it tells you, like, for every idle word that you're saying, you're going to be held accountable for it, for what you say,
Absolutely.
what you don't say, what you do, and what you don't do. So this is why I nitpick with people and stuff. And just like, even I was explaining to the brother Ibri last night about, like, for instance, parables that the Mashiach was saying about drinking his blood, or drinking the blood, and eating his body as being the bread and stuff. Well, he was saying, parables of using the nature around him, the fruits, the trees, all these things, and make himself as the tree and stuff, to give them understanding at that
Mm-hmm.
time. So
Mm-hmm.
this is what throws people off, because a lot of people don't want to do this. And then also, yeah, of course, books that that they take out, and me personally, I take every book with a grain of salt, you know what I'm saying? Because
Mhm.
I always ask, well, who's the author of this book and who authorized them to publish these books.
Absolutely.
You know, so I don't knock nobody for reading it or, you know, going into it. It's just I watch with a mindful eye, you know.
Yeah, those are all valid questions that we should ask when we do read it. We should ask who wrote it, and what was the what was the goal of the person when they wrote it, or if it was written or if it was translated, what was it translated from? You know, who authorized the translation? Those are all valid questions that we should ask when we go into certain information. Indeed. You know, and going back to what you were saying concerning you know, Mashiach saying that he was equal with the Most High. I think as the scripture said, let this mind be in you, which was also in Mashiach, who being in the form of the Most High thought it not equal to, or thought it not robbery to be equal with the Most High. So he's saying that mindset should be in you also, that you should not only not that you're equal with the Most High in the stance of him being quote unquote God, but as is written, to be one with him. Like like it says here, "O Israel, the Lord our God is one." That word God, or that God one, Akkad, means to be in agreement with. You know, it means be like-minded. You know, so we are called to be one with the Most High in Mashiach, in mind, and think the same way, and conduct ourselves in the manner that he would have us conduct ourselves. You know?
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I just want to say, I think when I explain that, because, you know, when the Mashiach said, "Hey, you know, be ye perfect like your Father in heaven," you know what I'm saying? It's like,
absolutely,
because I try to break that down. Like the audience at that time, when they said that, they automatically think that he was calling himself as the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Not as in, okay, I want to be perfect with the Father, because, you know, that's something that I explain to people in the lessons as, you know, if Christ, if the Mashiach was the Most High, then he contradicts himself when he says that no servant is higher than his master. So if the Most High is the master and he's the master and they equal, well, who's the master and who's the servant? You know, and those are the questions that I pose to, you know, when brothers and sisters do bring that up, and they be like, well, you know, that's, you know, Old Testament, because I'll be on a group chat with non-Messianics trying to help them understand the Mashiach.
This scripture that says that the Most High gave Mashiach that authority to do and say these type of things, type of things that he said. But we also see within the scripture where it's written that Mashiach will return that same authority back to the Most High, that the Most High be all in all. You know,
and that's why I use the law. You know, Deuteronomy 18:18, when he said that, I will raise thee up. Thus saith the Most High, I will raise thee up a prophet from amongst thy brethren, and I will put my words in his mouth, and I will command him everything he shall say unto the house of Israel. So, I mean, like, that's the agreements that I'm with the whole thing. That's why I said I always go back with the Torah. If it don't sound right, something's not right. And like I said, even in the New Testament, you know, we'll talk later, because I still got to send you. I got to find the link for the PDF for. As a matter of fact, this book right here, y'all, right here. You guys see this?
Yeah,
I see it.
And then this is, so you guys could see right here. So this really takes out the. This helps out take out the bones or stuff that I had questions about when I was reading it myself. So it really gets to the nitty-gritty about things, and they actually give the literature when Constantine in the Council of Nicaea added in so many different things, even with the Greek. So it's deep. I haven't gotten through all of it yet. I'm still in the book of Acts, and there's a lot of stuff in there that what we thought he said, that maybe Paul may have said or the disciples may have said, it's not in there. It wasn't even an original Eastern Peshitta, as they call it. It doesn't exist. So these are inserts, and we know with Deuteronomy 4:2 and Revelation 22:18, where it says you're not supposed to add on or take away from this book, you know. So these are a lot of things that I was just, I'm just going over. But that's all I wanted to say. But I'll go back to mute, y'all.
No,
Yeah,
you're correct also, because in Matthew 28, that was an add-on where it says to be baptized in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. When the scriptures tell you to be baptized in the name of the Messiah, the Catholics added in the Trinity just to try to prove that they were correct when they are wrong in Matthew 28.
All right, so I want to get back to the brother recruiter here. Did you have anything that was particularly profound that you stumbled on that would say, okay, what solidified your understanding of the 400-year prophecy? I mean, if it was any one particular thing that said to you that's it.
I can't say. It's just been one particular thing. But if I can pull something, man, it's basically the scriptures. Those two supporting scriptures that I shared from the pseudepigrapha.
Okay.
That Apocalypse of Abraham and the letter of Jacob, because it continues. And I think I made a video. A first video I made about it was in it's on my YouTube right now. It's called the 400 years is in America, not Egypt. I think that's the title of it. And I did that like in 2017, and that's when in there I have the Apocalypse of Abraham, and I don't think I have the letter of Jacob scripture, but I would have to say it's probably just the scriptures, Apocalypse of Abraham. He's making it plain when he says the last days, and we've been here for 400 years, so that had to do it for me.
You know what I really wanted to ask you about also. There was a video you had of the 400 years dreams, and I think it's dreams and prophecies or something like that. But where that brother was telling about the dream that he had about us leaving, that was a profound video, bro. That video right there is. Where did you get that from, bro? Your mic's coming in. Can you hear me now? No, it's still like kind of like a fishbowl effect going on. I don't know if it's fully jacked in or what. Hello?
Hello?
Oh, there you go.
Okay. All right. Oh yeah. I think I know which video it's talking about when it was the second Exodus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, that was powerful. And I think there was a movie. Did I share a movie on that video too?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, all right, yeah. I remember. But yeah, for me it had to been just the Apocalypse of Abraham and the now I a long time ago, man, the Messiah, Mashiach, did come to me like in a vision, man. And this was many years ago, and he was like, you keep doing what you're doing, you're gonna know my voice. He's like, I'm gonna lead you and I'm gonna guide you. You go this way or that way, I'm gonna keep you on track. He was moving his hands like back and forth from side to side. He's like, you go this way or that way, I'm gonna keep you on track. And he was talking to my inner man, and I was like, Lord, how would I know if it's your voice and not Satan's or my own thoughts? And he just smiled at me, and just pointed to the scriptures. So I this was like in 2000, but I wasn't it was 2000, 2001-ish. But I still was into the false doctrines of Christianity and stuff like that. But I was reading the word, so I had some understanding of the word, understanding the history of Israel. But as far as me being Israel and being able to connect the dots like that, I didn't do that until years later. But I'm thankful that I was able to sit down to study, just study. I didn't know exactly what I was studying, but I was trying to understand his voice kind of and have some sense of direction. So when I found out that we the people, man, and that came to me, man, I really started. I haven't stopped. I haven't let the scriptures. I haven't put them down. I've been studying since. I just been in the book since, man, reading it as much as I can. And it's like I said at the beginning, man. I've been hard headed. I was hard headed. I was, in my abominations, and I just felt like I was mad in debt. I was in debt, and I just kind of, I guess I wanted to make up for lost ground, sort of say. Yeah. And I still don't feel like I don't think I'll ever be satisfied with anything, because I don't think I did anything. I don't think I think I did anything worthy. I want to beat myself down, but I mean, I can't repay the Most High Mashiach for what He's given, man, for the mercy on me. There's no way I'm in debt forever, man.
Yeah, you're most likely, you're most definitely, you're not alone in that thought. Take comfort in knowing that that you're not alone in that, and I think our past deeds are a great motivator for us to do better today. So I mean, I just wanted to I wanted to get some last words from everybody because we're getting ready to close out, but I would like to say it's been an honor having you on. I want to share my email with you so we can continue forward, and like the brother Cleo was saying, we can do more work together so we can build and keep building. I'm gonna put my email out here. That's my email. Take it down. So you can email me and we can do some stuff in the future, and as soon as possible. I say as soon as possible. I mean, I don't care if it's like tomorrow. You like, yo, I got something. I think we can get together and do. Okay. And, it doesn't matter. But it's been an honor having you on. I'm definitely it's been a blessing to view your work and to have you here and share your ideas and your understandings with us. And we're gonna keep moving forward, doing this with more and more people, because this 400-year prophecy is a must that we give our people hope, man, that they see there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and that they understand that the Most High hasn't forgotten them, and that He always had a plan of salvation, not just for us to die here and then go to heaven, but to actually free us out of our chains and out of our bondages and go into a land flowing with milk and honey. Absolutely. So I wanted to say that, and I'll leave the floor for everybody else that had their last words before we shut down. So if anyone has anything to say, please come to the mic.
Yeah, let me just say it's been a blessing and an honor to have you on, brother. Like I said, I've been following your work for about a year or so, and I definitely look forward to moving forward and working with you in the future, keeping in touch and everything. I think that your perspective on the 400-year prophecy is excellent. It's much needed. I feel like your breakdown of Daniel chapter 12 is definitely one that needs consideration. it should be taken into consideration. I thought that was powerful as well. And we didn't get a chance to talk much about your music and everything, but we'll do more of that on the background. You know, like I said, I got your information, you got mine and everything. It's been a blessing to have you, bro. May the Most High bless you and keep you, and peace and blessings to everybody in the chat.
Thank you. All praises.
Oh, praises. Well, I just wanted to say thank you, brothers, for having me on. It was an honor to meet you, Recruiter. It was an honor to be live with Elder C. Thrower, as well as Brother Banya and Brother Eric, as well as Brother Ezekiel. I'm very, very humbled being, in alliance with you guys, or just knowing that I'm not alone in this understanding of the 400 years. And we are in spiritual Egypt. And what convinced me of that is when I saw the big link. I don't know if you guys are familiar with LinkedIn, but America has an account under LinkedIn, and it says "We are Egypt in America." I was done. I knew from that point on that everything that Brother Banya and Brother C. Throw was bringing forward on the 400-year prophecy in the second Exodus definitely was true. Not to mention all of like my sister Yolanda said about the $100 bill, how they have their influences from Egypt on that. And we're just coming at a time of real a time to be happy and to give praise and thanks to the Most High for all the things that He is about to do for us. And I just pray that our sisters who are in the truth, to encourage them, and I pray that the Most High encourage you all to read the scriptures, because we are the children of Israel. We both need to know, both male and female, and we need to uplift our brothers, because when everything comes to a head, they are going to be the ones on the front line. So we need to uplift our brothers and hold this, and come out of the mindset of feminism, because that's not of the Most High for us to be feminists. The ultimate strong woman is a woman who stands behind the men of Israel and keep encouraging them, because these brothers are bringing forth some knowledge and wisdom. And if you have a young brother in your household, or a husband, or anybody who is an Israelite, you need to be encouraging them, and y'all all need to be seeking the word together. So thank y'all so much for having me on here, and peace and blessings to everybody.
Peace and blessings, shalom.
And this is Brother Ezekiel, the Levite. I gotta say that because
hallelujah.
I definitely have to say, with the Torah, like, brother, the Recruiter, all of us can repay the Most High by undoing everything we did when we were not woken up, and to, change that. That's it's the repentance. And we go out here, we continue to keep doing the work for Him. So our reward would be our names still written in the book of life, and this is what we're called to do. So, my words to everybody here, is yes, get back, understand, learn the Torah, and apply it to yourself. Then you can start applying it to others. Live it. That's the whole purpose and the whole duty of what we're supposed to do on this earth. And we have to continue to keep doing this, because if you don't, then you're not shining that light. We're not making the Most High's name great. We're actually taking it in vain. That's breaking the commandment, because we're making His name without worth. And we have to stop and think all the things when we apply the Torah and the things we do mess up in life. We got to stop and think, well, how much are we hurting the Most High's feelings? Because the Most High has emotions. He's a jealous power. He's a merciful power. He's an angry power, a wrathful power. We got to stop and think, like, I know we don't know what His face looks like, but just stop and think, man, all the things we've done to hurt His feelings, because we're three things to Him. Number one, we His children. That's why the Mashiach, not only the Mashiach, even Moshe and Isaiah called Him Father. We have to be obedient children. So what can we do to honor our father, like it tells you in the commandments, to honor thy father, thy mother? What we got to do. The second thing is that we're servants. He's our master. What it tells you about being a servant when you read the book of Exodus chapter 21 about a Hebrew servant. or
Mm-hmm.
or the other laws. What are we supposed to do according to the master? You
Mm-hmm.
see, these are all the things we need to do. And then thirdly, the Most High calls us his wife. So we need to understand how to be a submissive wife unto our
Mm-hmm.
husband.
Hallelujah.
All of these things that we need to fulfill and stuff. And this is how we can repay the heavenly Abba back. We can repay all our ancestors that's, that's down in the bosom of Abraham, that the angels, as it says, they're happy and joyful when they see us bringing back one soul. We, like the Mashiach said, we are fisher of men. We're
Yeah.
supposed to
Mm-hmm.
go out here and go fish for men, not scare the damn fish away. So
Mm-hmm.
this is all the things we have to do. And when you read the Torah and you following it, no excuses. Everybody can read it an hour a day, 10, 15 minutes a day, doesn't matter. As long as you approve, you read that and apply it to yourself, you'll see the changes in yourself. And obviously you're gonna see more blessings come in. And that's a testimony, a witness of the Most High, the Heavenly Abba, that he does do these things and he keeps his word. So that's all. That's all my words to y'all. Y'all have a blessed and shalom day.
Absolutely. And and,
Thank
and
you.
and this is the last thing I want to say, and I'm going to be quiet. If I could just address Brother Ezekiel. I didn't know you were a Levite, and I just want to say it's an honor to meet a Levite and somebody who is of the Levitical priest in the flesh. I've never met like somebody who knew they were Levi, although I know Levites among me who are not active in their role. So it's very honorable to meet you, brother. The scriptures tell you in the testimony of Judah, of the 12 patriarchs, that we are not to ever try to uplift ourselves over Levi, because the gift to Levi is the priesthood. The Most High God himself is actually the Levites their lot of inheritance. So it's an honor to meet an active Levi who seemed like you have a very humble heart. And I didn't know you was a Levite, so it's very honorable to meet you. And to all the brothers and sisters, when you come across a Levite like Brother Ezekiel, you honor him. Okay, we cannot try to jump over Levi because we Judah. Judah got the kingship, but Levi got the priesthood. So that's
Okay.
all I wanted to say. It was an honor to meet you, brother.
Yeah, and all that goes to the Heavenly Abba through the Mashiach and the Ruach Hakodesh. You're welcome, sis.
Hallelujah.
And she's right. The law tells you never to forsake a Levite. The
Mm-hmm.
Levites are the teachers of the law. That's why every king always had a Levite next to them, because they had to teach them. They had to
Hallelujah.
help keep in order. And like they say, Judah, enforced it. And Levi
Mm-hmm.
was there to help them, guide them in
That's
it,
right.
because this is what Israel need. And that's why specifically in my teachings, I only deal with the Torah. Like I said, I believe in the Mashiach 100% everything. I was baptized and all this and that and the other. So, just explaining, I'm trying to reach out to other Levites like, yo, y'all need to understand, y'all have to get up and you need to teach everybody out here, because there is brothers out here who are on the front line and they claiming they Judah, they may be Benjamin, all the other tribes, and they go out there and start teaching and stuff. But, they have to have that understanding, know how to teach,
That's
because
right.
a lot of people can say they are teachers and things like that, but that's not really their position. So, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm not taking away from any brother or sister who's trying to do whatever they can to earn their name in the book of life and keep it there. I'm just trying to help, like, hey, go about it the right way, so.
Absolutely. And Judah
Well,
better understand that they got to get in line. We the teachers for now because of Hebrews chapter 7. But once we get restored as a people, the Levites are the kings. I'm sorry, they are the priests forever and ever. So if you're going to take on a role as a preacher or a teacher, whatever you want to call yourself, you better know that book. And the Messiah, he's in that Torah. Look at
yes,
Genesis 49 verses 8 through 12. There he go. Look
can
at Psalms 22. There he is. There go the crucifixion. Right there in
All
Psalms
praise to the
22.
Most High.
So
Hey,
we got to get to it.
I want to thank everybody for coming again. For
Oh,
all
sorry.
for everybody that's watching, I want to say please like and subscribe. I left the brother Ezekiel's YouTube page right there. If you want to get lessons on the laws, I left everybody's links to their pages within the chat. So if you missed it, you just have to simply scroll up and you'll see everybody's links. Please like and subscribe to everybody's page. Like and subscribe to this page. Have a blessed day. Share these videos also. Have a blessed day, and shalom, blessings, and love to everyone. Peace.